Next presenter, please. Chanchal.
Good morning to everyone present here. I, Chanchal Gurida, is presenting today's talk on the topic elucidating the differential regulation of novel long-run coding RNAs and its mechanism of action and P73 dependent manner. So, moving to my first slide, why P73? We are very much aware about P53. It is I would say a guardian of the genome, where we study that in majority of the cancers we see that there is a 50% mutations that is observed in P53. But very recent light has been, very less light has been shown on P73. P73 belongs to the P53 tumor suppressor family only, in which we have three family partners, that P53, P63 and P73. But P73 is found to be rarely mutated in cancers. So what is our strategy is that how we can use P73 as therapeutic intervention when P53 is mutated in majority of the cancers. So if we look at the structural morphology or homology study, we see that P53 and P73 share many domains. And what is more interesting to look into is that P53 and P73 can regulate those genes as well that are P53 dependent, as well as P53 can regulate both the genes that are P73 dependent or P73 independent. So thus it makes a very interesting target to give a therapy where we see that in 50% of the cancers P53 is mutated. So now, what we were looking into were the novel long-run coding RNAs. As we know that long-run coding RNAs, as the name suggests, they do not have any coding capability and they are less than 200 nucleotides. So what the important concept is, we study the central dogma where we see that we have replication, we have transcription, we have translation. And we study from our class 11 or class 12, that is the regulation of gene expression at all the levels, at transcription, at post-transcription and at translation level. And what is more interesting to see that these long-run coding RNAs, they regulate at both transcription, post-transcription, translation, and most importantly epigenetic modification that we are looking into to give the treatment at the epigenetic modifications where our genetics do not work at all. So they are at the very first group, they are the chromatin modifiers. So in my subsequent slides, you would see that how they act as a chromatin modifiers also. So now, if we move to the next slide, we see the majority of the long-run coding RNAs that have been studied in majority of the cancers. So these long-run coding RNAs, they would be in the chain of, we know that in cancer there is actually a game of tug of war, where we see that proto-oncogenes is activated, turn into cancers, and now the thing depends who will win. So long-run coding RNAs have their equal weightage. These long-run coding RNAs can target those genes also that can give rise to tumor in the body, or they can act in the chain of tumor suppressor. So our lab studies both long-run coding RNAs, where we see that how these long-run coding RNAs regulate at the chromatin level, giving the stretch tumor suppressor gene or oncogene effect. So now, what was our rationale? Our rationale was to look into the P73 regulated novel long-run coding RNAs. And yes, today I am not discussing, but we also looked into the effect of escalatin, that what is the effect of escalatin anti-cancer drug on these long-run coding RNAs. So what was our strategy? We had HCT116 P53 null P73 and P73 knockdown cell line. P73 knockdown cell line has been made in the lab, wherein the puromycin pool cells have been collected and stable transfection has been done. So we give the etoposide treatment, as we know that P53, these tumor suppressor proteins are at a very less concentration. We need to give, like in our body, natural phenomena, there is a DNA damage that activates them. But in the lab, we need to give etoposide treatment to activate P53 mRNA or at the protein level. For that, we give etoposide treatment for 24 hours. That has been standardized. We isolate the RNA to prepare the cDNA and then semi-quantitative PCR to check the number of cycles. Then we perform the real-time PCR. Then with data expression analysis, first of all to check that in doing any experiment, yes, P73 in any way we say that in P73 knockdown there is 70% knockdown effect of P73. But yes, every time we need to check the expression of P73 by any chance, by culturing of the cells, P73 knockdown should be maintained. So now, what we did, we outsourced this RNA-seq, we actually outsourced this to the company where we got the RNA-seq data and find n number of protein coding of long non-coding RNAs, where we see that some of the long non-coding RNAs were upregulated and some of the long non-coding RNAs were downregulated. In P73 knockdown, some long non-coding RNAs were upregulated. So it means that these long non-coding RNAs are oncogenic, because in P73 we are actually P73 is having two forms, that is transactivation form and double negative form. Double negative form moves that P73 to oncogenic effect, and P73 transactivation form move into the tumor suppressor. So these long non-coding RNAs, that long non-coding RNA 1, 2, 3, that is ZFPL2AS1, PVT1 and MYR100HG, these are upregulated in P73 knockdown cell line. So after that, we got majority of the, in our heat map cluster, we got majority of the genes that were upregulated and downregulated. So we wanted to see actually, first of all, the expression of P73, and we find that in P73 knockdown we have decreased expression of P73. It means that we can move ahead and look into the novel expression of all these genes. And real-time PCR performed to check that whether these long non-coding RNAs that were given in the data that was provided by the company, that whether these long non-coding RNA are actually upregulated or not. So we looked into the relative mRNA expression through real-time PCR, as you can see in the graph, like ZFPL2AS1, MYR100HG and PVT1. All these long non-coding RNA were significantly expressed in P73 knockdown cell line, and GASR1, LINK01, 1108, LINK003224, these long non-coding RNAs were downregulated in P73 knockdown cell line. So moving towards the upper 3-1 are oncogenic, and the lower 3-1 that has been shown are they are in tumor suppressor in function. Now what was our next curiosity to see that whether the promoter of these long non-coding RNA gene contained by any chance the P73 binding site. For that we use the TF-bind and Jasper software to check that whether there is a P73 binding site on these long non-coding RNA promoter. So through bioinformatics analysis we find that they include the P73 binding site, but we use the term mutated for the next to pinpoint that yes, this is the binding site to perform the luciferase assay, wherein the promoter construct of these long non-coding RNA genes are cloned in the vector and then the transfection is done and checked through liminometer. Yes, we find that these are actually the P73 binding sites that we were saying as mutated. So now, very interestingly, if I give 2 minutes to this slide, actually P73, P53 and SYN3, a major chromatin modifier, has been known to interact in 1985 by Murphy. So we were very interested to see that whether P73 and SYN3 also interact with each other. We performed an initial experiment to see that whether P73 and SYN3 interact through co-immunoprecipitation, and yes, by we should say like P73 and SYN3, they both interact, both the isoforms SYN3A and SYN3B. So now what was our main curiosity? Like what we see that P73 is binding onto the long non-coding RNA promoter. So now what we wanted to see that whether P73 should be using one or the other chromatin modifier to either upregulate or downregulate these genes. So P73, what we find that P73 was using SYN3. We use the CHIP assay, that is chromatic immunoprecipitation, wherein we pull down the chromatin with our antibodies and we use the primers against the long non-coding RNA promoter. And through this, it gives us a 100% proof that whatever we were saying as a mutated binding site at P73 was binding to long non-coding RNA promoter. So yeah, I'm ready. So now we were very interested to look into the long non-coding RNA effect on the effect of escalating on long non-coding RNA, and all these long non-coding studies are still going on the effect of escalating on long non-coding RNA, but PVT1, one of the long non-coding RNA, has shown to give a very drastic decrease with the effect of escalating. Why? Because if we look into the strategy, escalating as a drug uses WNT beta catenin pathway and PVT. If we look into this particular location, PVT is just located 53 base pair just away from the c-MYC, and all the studies of c-MYC have been very verified. So we wanted to look into that how actually PVT and c-MYC, they form a gene desert kind of condition where there is no protein coding gene, but still PVT1 is increased in the cancers, and escalating has show an effect to WNT beta catenin pathway. So we are further studies needs to be done at how WNT beta catenin pathway pathway needs to be studied. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Any question from audience?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the participants. And wish you all the good luck. You can consider by tomorrow evening the winners. And that's all for the day for this session. Thank you.